When it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing. Getting with the coverage, we loving it all day. Picking up the news, tell us wherever the ball lay. With the NFL, NBA, they box so. Sports news in the hands of a man with fair takes. Tell them, coach, statistics and realness that's being spoke. Either hit it for the win or they hitting the goal posts. Either way, we woke up to the news of the day. Any Kenny could call it, he like to talk it out with Ray. Fast breaks down the lane, they better move out the way, or they pullin' from perimeter. Curry bury the trade, yeah, they got it. Woo! Duval with the hottest, Chris and Dev like the master, and mix it up like it's Logic being modest. They been looking for that real, trying to get it feel. Sports podcast, they running back on the real. That's a steal, yeah. They never sick, but they ill. Real sports talk going, deliver, signed and sealed. We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing.
And we are back, and just like that, we back, and the Bills are back visiting the end zone. For the first time of 2023, Josh Allen with a strike to Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs sending me a message because I've been a little critical from the reports I've heard, and he's come out with a message for Sauce Gardner and others saying, I'm not running. What was that? Was Dave, you saying something?
No, that was Chris.
I said, yeah, I was agreeing with you for once.
Oh, look at that. Well, once we get to these picks, you might should agree with me a little bit more.
I would not. See, you're taking it, Mario, the old saying, you just start doing too much now.
Oh, it looks like Josh Allen was ahead of the line of scrimmage. The throw play will not count. Wait, I don't know. I can't hear it, so we'll update you as it comes. But shout out to everybody here. Chris, what's good, sir? How you feeling? Eagles got it done.
Oh, yeah, we got it done. I can't wait to talk Sunday football. Of course, you're going to go over our picks. A little upset at my performance, but, I will say it's going to be a better year than last year. It's great to watch football. Sunday was just all football. I was locked in on FanDuel. I showed you guys some of my wins from Sunday. Dev, you got to get with me, man. It's on the up and up.
Oh yeah, you already know. I had placed a bet. You already seen my little bet.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, money line.
Money line. I take money line all day. But nah, that's really cool. And setting things up. You see my Ravens finally got that dub, but we took a loss on a lot of the injuries. You see J.K. Dobbins.
That was done for the course. Y'all should have already had a running back on IR for the year. That's a given.
But I saw like 3 offensive linemen go down too.
You see Ronnie Stanley went down. You see our center, Lindenbaum went down. Mm-hmm. You seen Marcus Williams gone down for a couple of weeks.
I saw Nebraska go down.
Yeah, we saw the Commanders almost lose to 7th string quarterback.
Whoa, we don't do that.
Okay, my bad.
Dang, the hate is so strong.
My bad. Because, y'all almost cost me something there, but my bad.
Dang. Coming for what? Coming for second to last now that the Jets done lost their quarterback?
No, they still going to be last. Don't get it twisted. They still going to be last.
Ooh! Last place Pats. Can't even win on Tom Brady celebration day. What a disappointment. How un-Tom Brady to lose a big game.
Tom Brady wanted to suit up.
And the Eagles didn't even put their best performance.
Oh, yeah.
AJ Brown didn't even score.
They played terrible.
If the Patriots were any good, they would have won that game because the Eagles were not. Offensively, at least, that first half was rough. And then they kind of
was rough.
Y'all was all right.
That's what they get for not playing in the preseason.
I hate that. I've said that before, and I think we saw that definitely in the early games. Like
most definitely saw that with the Ravens.
Like you don't play since February, and you expect to come out clicking on all cylinders. No rhythm.
We have a new offensive coordinator, a new starting quarterback, and you play like 5 series. And like, whatever. I don't know if I agree with that. Mac Jones looked better than no. I didn't see that for me, but I
mean,
will.
He looked good passing the ball. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
I give him
look better than he did last year.
Yeah, I give that to him. You know,
for sure. I will say this: I'm not gonna blame Belichick, Rod, but Jacoby Myers was cooking yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why he couldn't do that in New England, but he looked like Devontae Adams.
I mean, he looked like what I thought he was going to be for New England. I thought he was going to bring that type of playmaking ability to New England. You know, you're right. For
a game.
You know,
he got to do that for the rest of the season, though.
It's still held to nail, though. So all those stats mean what?
I was getting ready to say that
because
he put up 345, 3 touchdowns,
and still lost. You had 2 4th down conversions you could have made that you didn't. That could have won.
He didn't make the throw he needed to make at the end.
Yeah, so that
you got to keep.
He played well.
Give it a chance.
But
somebody got ran over. But at the end of the day, hey.
Oh my God, who is number 7?
Yeah, I don't know. He ate that. He ate that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Kyle was Conklin. I'm not even watching the game, so I'm not even gonna be mad at any
So Ray, we can go ahead and talk. I'm
not watching. Listen,
we almost synced up.
We're gonna talk about it. I mean, I think I'd be synced up today because I got the box down here. But I mean, we talked about it off air. That sad injury to Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, but.
You better hope it's nothing serious, boys.
There's no reason for me to watch the game now.
Stock just went through the roof.
Let me tell y'all how.
There's no reason for me.
I ain't even gonna lie. I hate to see a man get hurt, but I bust out laughing when I seen that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't get back up, and it wasn't because of Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
The coach.
It was because of the fan face expression. The fans and the coach was like, oh my God, I just paid my rent to come to this game and you go down?
Yeah.
Fans,
the coach, everybody was in disbelief.
What do you say, Jalen Hurts tampon?
Yeah, he started talking crazy,
Oh, we have a change of possession.
Oh, what was he looking at?
He looked like Daniel Jones.
That's a taunting.
We got a flick off. Lord, today, if y'all watching the live stream, I apologize for the middle finger that you may have just seen.
That fan is ignorant.
Oh,
this is gonna be a rough game.
Hey, Dev, I gotta ask. This is no smoke. I like Baltimore. You seen the Commanders fan fight the Ravens fan Sunday?
Nah.
It's at FedEx. So you can go to Twitter, go to your local Twitter, and you can search. But quote the Raven, nevermore. They got him up out of there. And we at ASAP No Raymond condones violence of any kind.
Hold on. Now you got me curious.
The Commanders fan won the fight?
The Commanders fan won the fight much easier than the Commanders team won the fight.
You know why he won the fight? Because he was so frustrated with that terrible organization and having to go to that terrible game and watch that terrible performance.
Chris, here's what I need out of you. I need respect.
Yes.
We have new ownership.
Okay.
We had a sellout.
Yes. Y'all almost sold out, all right? Y'all almost sold out.
You keep almost in all this lost stuff that I don't know nothing about. My team ain't lost this season. So
mine
all
either.
This almost lost. All I know is
we all want to know. We're all want to know right now.
I agree.
We're all want to know.
But I just want that same level of respect.
Okay.
Because we won our game probably easier than y'all won y'all game.
No. We never. Y'all didn't have the lead at one point. We were never that down.
We did have the lead, and they robbed us. because we got a first down,
Yeah.
and that should have been a conversion that they clearly cheated, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, we're at the top of the division. We eye to eye right now. Y'all got it done. Y'all got through y'all week. We got through our week.
Okay.
We get prepared for the next week. That's all we got.
All right. I won't get you off track no more. Let me stop trolling. Stop trolling.
Speaking of success and winning, 19-year-old Coco Gauff.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know we don't cover a lot of women's sports. The WNBA playoffs kicked off, and I didn't care. Except the Mystics are playing, so I'm just kidding, actually. I think they lost to Liberty, though.
Here he goes.
What you mean?
Nothing. Go ahead. Continue.
But yeah, shout out to her. Historic performance. Emotional, legendary, iconic, winning the U.S. Open. Just really dope. So congratulations to her. Hope this is the beginning of more to come. They did I saw a graphic of like the last maybe not 15, maybe 10 U.S. Open winners that were women, all sisters. So the American white woman has been lost in the sport of tennis, contrary to what they tried to do to Venus and Serena. Still we rise. We have overcome. But yeah, shout out to her. Did y'all have any thoughts before we get back to this football?
I'm with you. Shout out to her.
Oh yeah, man.
Keep trailblazing the sport.
Most definitely shout out to her, man. You know, I mean, especially at the age of 19, and everybody is starting to kind of, you know, want to point to her and anoint her as, you know, hopefully the number one tennis, you know, the next up and coming Serena or Venus. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's in her path, and I think that she will dominate a lot of more majors coming her way. So shout out to her.
Absolutely. So congratulations again. We are proud to be here at ASAP. Keep doing the daggone thing. Coco onward and upward. Shout out to Unvaxxed Novak with the dub, doing what he does at the U.S. Open as well. I was hopeful. I was hopeful that we would have a Mike Hughes side because Mike Hughes has loved to talk about Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, but I enjoyed watching.
Let's talk about it because I picked y'all, Mike. I picked y'all. You know,
me too.
I forgot how bad your offensive line looked. You know, I know y'all down some people.
While we at it, pick them sorry Grizzly Bears.
I know y'all down a few people. Everybody, let me ask you this, Mike Hughes: is it the offensive line coaching, or is it Justin Fields? Let me see where your head's at. Offensive line, Justin Fields, or coaching?
Well,
I'd rather watch the Bears again.
Poor.
I don't know. I mean, Poole and Kuzma going to be, you know, fun to watch. Instant offense, no defense. Box office offense, no defense. It's going to be fun to watch.
We got other people for defense.
Okay.
But it's okay. Hey, Chris, you saw Joel Embiid in the box with KD.
I said okay.
At the game.
I said okay. Then
in DC. I don't want no smoke.
In my opinion, you can't have all.
You know who used to own the Sixers, right?
Listen, see,
the guy that owns the Commanders.
I mean, listen.
You know who go real good with Jordan Poole?
Who?
And Kyle Kuzma.
Who? The first round, the number one pick, because they're going to be the worst team in the league. Now, can we stick with football?
Canadian?
Can we stick with football? The
Canadian? I'm just saying.
Can we stick with football? I didn't take no shots at you. I gave your team a compliment. We're going here. Let's just stay level.
Coaching got to change. We agree.
We all agree.
Luke gets, in my opinion. You can't have all those weapons and run screens all game. I think it's hard to throw the ball down the field when your quarterback don't keep his eyes down the field because he's constantly under pressure. Rashawn Gary need a contract extension. Off that game alone, he's about to get paid again.
The offensive line is abysmal.
It's tough. Sam Howell dealt with the same thing. Eric Bieniemy, you keep running these long, over-cross, deep patterns. That young man back there getting his head beat in. So they sacked Jones 7. They sacked Howell 6. And I don't know if the Cardinals are that good or not. But
I didn't even know they had a pass rush over there in Arizona. I can't even name you 3 players on that team. With all due respect.
Mike Hughes, you're going to the top of the top. That's little.
Let's dial it down.
Different.
So
the quarterbacks we talking about.
He didn't figure it out. He didn't figure out yesterday. Y'all saw the meme where Myles Garrett was in the ISO between doing the dribble moves in front of the center and rushed him, did a Euro step and sack Joe Burrow.
That is total disrespect.
I didn't see it, but I did pick him for Defensive Player of the Year. I also was very high.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Listen. Whatchamacallit? I'm blanking. Cowboys. 11. Michael Parsons. He looked good too.
Can y'all see this? I just want to say real quick. You see all the stuff in the green. You know that's the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
It hurts, man. Life of a better hurts.
Been there. Yo, Stephon Diggs is out here doing work.
I mean, Stephon Diggs, we talk, the wide receiver position is so deep and it's just a lot of great receivers that a lot of people, they always change and fluctuate their list. Same things with corners. But we just, I'm about to the people that are consistent.
Was disgusting.
It was. The people that are consistent, I'm just going to put them in category by themselves. If you've been doing it for multiple years, I'm just going to put you over here. If your guy is, maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 years, I'll put you over here. A guy like Diggs, a guy like Devontae Adams, I'm putting them in Tyreek Hill. They're going in the categories by themselves. And all these guys that maybe 1 or 2 years, they've been doing something. Y'all can go over there. That's how I'm about to start rating, my receivers.
I understand. Yeah, it's deep. It's really, really deep, and that's without getting to any of our receivers. Because we definitely all got some. Odell was a little quiet, but Zay Flowers was busy. So, but let's get to the games in a second. But I do want to give everybody a chance to just kind of give 1 or 2 takeaways from the week. There was a lot of games, some upsets, some no-shows, some close games. So just give the people 1 or 2 takeaways that you got. Dev, we'll start with you.
One game, one takeaway I was watching was my game, and it shows that my offensive line was not on the same page with Lamar yesterday, or that offensive scheme, man. That offensive line wasn't moving fast enough. They was letting sacks get through. It was a lot of confusion, so I'm pretty sure that's need to get shored up, and that shows me that during the preseason, man, kind of helps. You need, like Chris said, man, you need to get out here and get a feel for the game and let the game come to you, rather than you trying to search for the game on week 1 and try to force things. Another thing was injuries. We already getting hit with injury bugs for a couple players already. So I'm hoping that a lot of teams don't get hit with the injury bug like the Ravens did already. So that's the 2 takes I got, was my offensive line and injuries already happening in week 1.
Fair enough. Chris, what you got for us?
Preseason, I'd be brief. I said it already. Dev just said it. Preseason, you see a lot of teams just sit their top guys. I think they should play, at least a quarter every game, maybe a half. You need to get, especially when your whole team changed around. You have a new coordinator. You have new offensive weapons. A new scheme. You don't just want to, hey, yeah, we're going to go over and practice. We're going to go in the joint practices. No, you need a real game setting to get a feel from it. And you don't want to wait till week 3, week 4, week 5 to try to start getting a feel, because a couple of games can really change a division. I mean, we're all fans of teams and, that are some of the best divisions in football. And it always comes down to a couple of games sometimes between that 1, 2, and that 3 seed. So to me, the preseason is important. Also, the wide receiver play in the NFL, I talked about, rating these guys, but man, this Tyreek Hill, what he did, 200+ yards, 2 touchdowns. Tua just being, all the naysayers about Tua. Yes, I think Tua sometimes has terrible decision making, because I really question the windows he throws the ball in. But that offense, not even the offense, Tyreek Hill. I might just go and say he's the best receiver in the NFL. That's how I'm feeling after week 1. Justin Jefferson, he did his thing. Don't get it twisted. I'm like, man, Jefferson out here. What do you have? Like let me put $170 something. Let's see. I got it right here. $150.
Like
$150.
Yeah.
9 for 150. Then Tyreek Hill goes 11 for 2 something and 2 touchdowns. So to me, I might just go and say Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in the NFL. That's how I'm feeling after week 1.
Okay. Yeah, a lot to take away from me. One of the big takeaways for me was rookie quarterbacks. Tough day for a lot of the young guys. Anthony Richardson might just be something. I don't know. But outside of the rookie quarterbacks, I would say is the sloppy play. Penalties, turnovers, blocked field goals, poor execution, just not the best quality, in my opinion. And so I hope that gets turned around quickly. I've never really understood the not playing in the preseason, especially now that it's less games. Like, it just doesn't really make logical sense to me, but what do I know? So let's get into it. First game of the week, we had Detroit and Kansas City, and Detroit gets the upset. Travis Kelce obviously was out. Detroit holds on to get the dub. Any big takeaway? Is there concern for Kansas City here? Are we need to praise Detroit a little bit more, especially based on what we just saw from the NFC this past week? What y'all think? Chris, I'll start with you.
No real concerns for me for Kansas City, only because Chris Jones signed his contract, so he's coming back. That even if it's just for a year, that gives you time. If you want to look for a replacement, fine. But for right now, for this season, you got your guy back in your defense, the star of your defense, the leader of your defense, the guy that makes the defense what it is. On the offensive side, I look at it like this. No Travis Kelce hurts. Absolutely. You lost a lot of wide receiver talent in that room. But I think Tony, I don't think he's a bust. I know a lot of people are saying, I don't think he's a bust. I'm not saying he's going to be a 1,250-yard receiver. But I do think adding Kelce, and I do think, just that team getting in rhythm, because, was it last year or the year before, people were like, oh, my goodness, this team doesn't look the same. And they picked up rhythm and they were able to make a run. So I don't want to, be too judgmental on this team just now. Offensive line play needs to be better. But I think I'm not too worried from Kansas City. And if I'm the Lions, listen, you only won by 1. A win is a win, absolutely. But if you're a Lions fan, don't get too hyped, because they were missing their second and third best player they were missing. So, let's be honest. You saw how the Packers played. They're legit, or they're very good, I should say. Jordan Love played very exceptional, especially that was number 1 wide receiver. So if you're the Lions, you need to stay hungry. You need to take that one with a grain of salt. You need to go into week 2 and the rest of the season still with that chip on your shoulder.
Okay. No, I like it. I definitely like it. I agree. I think the Lions, I would like to see them kind of clarify their running back situation. I think they got to kind of iron that out and kind of, clear up some things on the offense. But I definitely see a lot of weapons for sure. And on the flip side, I feel like Kansas City did this last year. When Tyreek Hill left, it was, what's going to happen to the offense? I disagree. Kadarius Toney, I don't know how he's still in the roster. Like, you blew
After
that.
After one game.
Like, how valuable is he really?
He won in the Super Bowl, if we're being honest.
He had a great game.
He won them the Super Bowl, if we're being honest.
He had a great game.
That punt return won them the Super Bowl, if I'm being 100% honest.
Okay. Well, I'm not going that far. But I cut it. If you want to keep him around and let him blow it again, cool. He's been bounced around. It ain't like
It's only the second team. It's only the second team. He was drafted like 2 years ago.
That's my point. That's bounced around. And people want him gone from Kansas City. He signed on like a minimum deal. It ain't like they paid him. They didn't give up a lot to get him. You got other talent there, allegedly.
You have no talent there. So
Sky Moore was a no-show. Pacheco, they gotta figure it out. But I think a lot of that, to your point, is your entire game plan changes an hour before the game. And they were in the game up until really the end of it. So even in spite of everything, they were still there with an opportunity to win it. But, Dev, your thoughts?
For the Chiefs, no concerns right now. Just a little bit of a red flag, just a little bit, just to see, like, we already alluded that since Tyreek Hill, they was able to move on, but Eric Bieniemy is a big piece. That offensive coordinator, I'm not saying that Andy Reid is not good in calling plays or nothing like that, but Eric Bieniemy was a hot topic for a reason. And I think that he's going to play a big part of not being a success if Kansas City doesn't have a lot of success. But it's nothing to panic about because, like I said, it's just week one. Kansas City kind of had a slow start last year. But for the Detroit Lions, man, we got to get props to where it's due at. We got to give the Detroit Lions able to stay in there and fight the defender champs. You know what I mean? Even though, yes, it was a 1-point game, but I'm pretty sure 97% of America did not choose the Detroit Lions to win that game. You know what I mean? Only but that 3% of Detroit Lions and the Detroit Lions.
And the only thing I'm going to push back on is the loss of Kelsey. I think a lot of people thought Detroit had a good chance.
No Kelsey, no Jones. That's really why I picked Detroit, if I'm being honest. You don't have your second and third best player. If they would have played, of course I'm taking Kansas City, but I think when you lose that type of impactful players, you
gotta think of the momentum that Detroit was riding on last year. They didn't make the playoffs, but at least they didn't win out on the losing note. You know what I mean? They fought to the very end, and you've seen that the culture that Dan Campbell has built in Detroit. Because, for many years, man, Detroit didn't really have no culture. It was just Matthew Stafford and Megatron. That's it. And then before that, it was just Barry Sanders. So now that Dan Campbell was able to actually build the culture, got the team believing that they're going to win this division. And you've seen that the Minnesota Vikings lost yesterday. So that gives them even more power. Now they got to watch out for the Packers because I don't think nobody believed that Jordan Love was going to have that type of day yesterday.
Without his number one.
Hey. Who the backup in Minnesota?
Who knows?
We might find out soon enough. I'll tell you that.
Would you take Kirk Cousins back? With the Commanders?
No. Absolutely.
You too far gone.
My bad.
I think he's just not that good.
My bad.
I think he's a stat baby.
Word.
He'll stat you to death, but
don't get me wrong. He'll probably give the Commanders the best chance of winning the division right now. But I just think that the way the team is built now is not built for Kirk Cousins. It's built for Sam Howell, and maybe if Sam Howell is not the answer, whoever the next guy is, because the Commanders got a good core. They got a good wide receiver. They got a good running back. That defensive line is stout. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they holding slouches over there. You know what I mean? So
Montez Sweat went off last game too.
He did. Chase Young did not play, so
but he's saying that he passed his physical today.
Sweat and Young both need to get paid in the offseason. We're probably only going to pay one.
And it's going to be Sweat.
We'll see. But this is emblematic of Kirk Cousins. At home versus Tampa and Baker Mayfield. He was 33 of 44 for 344, 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's pretty good.
Decent
but
day.
You lost to Baker in Tampa at home. And Justin Jefferson had 9 for 150, and they had like 7 for $130 or something in the first half. That's Kirk Cousins. He's going to give you amazing numbers, but you're probably going to lose most games you really want to win. And a lot of games you should win. So, no, I'm good on Kirk Cousins. But that's just me. But we got a lot of games to get to, so let's keep it moving. Let's get to Sunday football. New Orleans, Derek Carr, the new leader of the offense. No more Taysom Hill. No more aging Drew Brees. No more Jameis Winston. They believe they have a quarterback at the helm, and they got the dub. Just for clarity, we did Tennessee and New Orleans. Do we not pick this game? Did I write it down?
What?
Oh, no. Everybody picked New Orleans. So we all squeaked it out. 16-15. The defense was able to get a hold to end the game. Obviously, no Alvin Kamara. The return of Michael Thomas. And then, obviously, Chris Olave did what he does as well. DeAndre Hopkins also in this game had a solid game, but there was a lot of star power. Derrick Henry, too. When you think about it, Traylon Burks, a lot of talent on the field, even without Kamara. But with that being said, Dev, your thoughts on the New Orleans Saints being victorious over the Tennessee Titans by a point?
I ain't really got no high hopes for either team, honestly. I just think that the Saints is going to win that division by ease because the star power that they do have and the defense that they do have also. So I'm kind of shocked that their defense ain't really rise to the occasion of actually stopping Tennessee, of actually, being that close. That's like
they didn't have 3 picks.
And Tennessee didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Right.
Oh, well, then they did their job. Then my bad.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Like a different. Let me change my narrative. Then the Saints did their job, man. The only thing that Derek Carr did right was he didn't actually lead the game in interceptions. It looked like Ryan Tannehill, who's getting ready to be replaced by Will Levis, who should be replaced by Malik Willis, because I don't think that none of them quarterbacks are the answer.
Dang. Chris, your thoughts?
I mean, for the people that thought Tennessee was going to be good just because you got D-Hop, you had no touchdowns. So let's get that out the way. And your quarterback threw 3 interceptions. But
Ryan Tannehill, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either.
Get it right with A.J. Brown. What makes you think he was going to get it right with an aging D-Hop?
Exactly. But to the Saints, I mean, I say this. Their defense did what I thought they were going to do. One of the reasons why I picked this team, because they're not going to go against a lot of elite quarterbacks throughout the year. So when you have a defense that, has been together for a majority of their careers, and you're not going against elite offense, elite quarterback, then I think they're going to be successful. I think the running game, that 27 carries, 69 yards, I think that's terrible. It's very terrible, honestly. Couldn't even get 3 yards to carry. Hopefully, when Kamara comes back, that changes. Jamal Williams, he had a very bad game. So I think once they're able to be a balanced team, I think we're going to see a more explosive New Orleans Saints, because 16 points, I mean, you barely escaped from a victory, and your defense didn't give up a touchdown. So as much as I want to give the Saints credit, I mean, if your defense has 3 picks, a couple of sacks, doesn't give up a touchdown, you would think you'd win by at least 7 or 10 or more. So their offense needs to get it together, in my opinion, for them to really, get the ball rolling throughout their season. I think their division's a gimme, but close games like this can't hurt you.
No, I definitely agree with close games. And I think that was kind of the trend for week 1 for me. Win the ugly ones. And I think there was a lot of teams outside of San Francisco. A lot of teams won ugly games. And you just got to do it. The Dolphins and Chargers, we'll get to that in a little bit. Not ugly, but you got to win them. So I think a lot of messages were sent in that regard. And I think for me, if I'm New Orleans with the new system and the new everything working together, I think there's a lot to be excited about, but a lot you still got to put together. And I think where we see a lot of that, specifically early on in the year, with a lot of these teams with new offenses and coordinators and quarterbacks, is in the red zone. A lot of inefficiencies in the red zone for a lot of teams. The turnovers, snap, just a lot of tough play. So I think that'll get cleaned up, but good win for New Orleans. On to one of the surprises for me. I did pick San Francisco. We all picked San Francisco, but
like that.
I don't think any of us thought it was going to be that.
No.
So ultimately, Christian McCaffrey, I know they keep saying running backs aren't that. He looked like that. So big shout out to him. Aaron Jones was another big running back that I think he already got paid a decent money. But man,
he got hurt though. But yeah, he before he got hurt, he was looking
hamstring.
Ooh, he was looking. Ooh, words can't describe. I can't even describe it. I mean, running and receiving, that man was almost. I think he'd have put up 200 yards from scrimmage that game if he didn't get hurt.
Another piece of this is Brock Purdy looked good. Brandon Ayuk had a huge day.
Fantasy.
Debo, he did. Debo, decent day. But that offense looked good. Kittle didn't even have a real great day. And they look good. So we will see, kind of what comes of everything. But boy, oh boy. AFC North, I think, is going to be tough. And that is not the way you want to start your season if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Kind of rallied a little bit late, but
they had 1 yard. Your total yard, Joe.
It was disgusting.
Terrible.
It ain't Tomlin. That's what I'm not going to say. It's not Tomlin, but either Pickett or Najee, somebody got to step up. And it's been a little bit now, and Najee Harris still not doing what I think they expected him to do in the shadow of Le'Veon and some of the other Steelers running back greats. But Chris, I'll kick it to you. Your thoughts on San Francisco's performance or Pittsburgh's performance?
I mean, I'll say this, I thought it was going to be a closer game. I did think, I did think the 49ers were going to win. I didn't expect it, like you just said, to be in that fashion. We talk about running backs. I'm always in a stance where, it's not the running back's fault why the teams are winning Super Bowls. It's the team around them. When I look at McCaffrey, he's with a team that is probably obviously the best team he's been with since he was drafted with the Panthers. It's complete. And he's making life real easy for Brock Purdy. I mean, what he did, thank you for winning me money again, Christian McCaffrey. Y'all know I love FanDuel. But what he did in that game just shows you how dynamic this team can be. And if their defense is playing like that and McCaffrey's able to, run like that, and then the pass game is going to be easy for Purdy, some could say this is the best team in the NFL. When I'm looking at the Steelers, I thought they were going to be last in their division by far. I have no faith in them. Again, it's not Tomlin, but the team sucks. Najee Harris hasn't been good. I don't know why I drafted you in fantasy. I hope you play better, though. Kenny Pickett, no words for you. The team isn't good. The team got dominated. It's just a disgusting loss. If the Giants didn't, lose in that fashion, but part of me even still wants to say this is the worst loss on Sunday. Because they only have how many yards, Dev?
1.
Yeah, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If somebody needs to get fired.
Who had 1 yard?
The Steelers. In total yards, they had 1 total yard. I forgot which part of the game. I think it was like going into halftime or something like that. I forgot what it was.
It was for a stretch where it was 199 total yards for the 49ers. The Steelers won. I mean, offense for them looked bad.
Yeah.
They couldn't get anything going. Again, we talk about the running game. Running game hasn't been good in years. And I don't know what it is with Najee because I was a Najee fan. I thought he was going to be better than this. I don't know if we want to say offensive line. I'm not saying offensive line, but, I don't know if it's pointing the fingers in the other direction. But like you said, Najee hasn't looked like the guy that still thought he was going to be.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we have the second half starting, and it's starting off with Zach Wilson on his back. So not the start you want. If
I
you're a
think that
Jets
game.
player, maybe if you're a married man, but not so much for the Jets right now. Let's keep it moving to Jay Nuss. Jay Nuss, you ran out of here. Somebody at Jay Nuss.
I mean, no, we don't. Can we skip this game? And nobody wants to talk about your Commanders.
Listen, I do.
You go ahead. I have nothing to say.
The beautiful people of the DMV do too. It was tough. This year is going to be a roller coaster ride of potentially epic proportions because we go, as I've been saying, as Sam Howell goes. And he's a little more athletic than I thought I knew he was. Dang, that was a grab. He had a really bad pick, way too many turnovers. Gibson fumbled, but Gibson fumbles. I thought the offense was not what I thought, but I think that's going to take time. It was a very intricate system. We try to get the ball down the field a lot, and similar to I think Colorado in the first half, I think we adjusted in the second half to quicker passes to try and get the ball out into our playmakers' hands because the first half was really bad. It was just awful to watch. I was yelling out the window at some of my neighbors because they was talking trash. Screenplay. Big play for the Jets. Nice screen on second down to Brees Hall, I believe.
Brees Hall is looking like, on the limited snap count, you talk about a guy that's making the most of it.
Joe.
I mean, 100 and some yards on the ground. What he got, like 20 some receiving yards.
Yeah, that was a big play right there.
He's not supposed to play a ton of minutes.
Desperate times.
I wouldn't say desperate times. I'd just say get the ball in your playmakers' hands.
This is a division rivalry, and you at home. You lose this game.
They're going to lose, but if they're able to, come on now, Aaron Rodgers is not playing. They're going to lose, but if this offense is able to show that, okay, even without Rodgers, we can be somewhat coherent. I think that's the biggest takeaway for me.
Okay, remains to be seen. It looks like they got a nice running game going. I think that's to their benefit to maximize that, and obviously play action always helps as well. But back to our regular schedule program and the Washington Commanders. As I said, the city's been buzzing. City was feeling good. It was good to have that feeling back in the city. New ownership group. It was just really cool. We did get the sellout here, and it's been a long time since it's felt like that. I would have liked a cleaner performance. But we're getting there. A lot of weapons between McLaurin and Samuel and Dotson, Robinson. We got a guy named Rodriguez. I think is the third string running back. Offensive line. That's going to be a work in progress because 6 sacks is unacceptable. But I think again, a lot of those were deeper 5-7 step drops that we're going to have to adjust or run the ball better or more often. But overall, I'm kind of on the win. I think we should have dominated more, but we got the win done. And I think that's really the name of the week was get it done, and they did that. Dev, your thoughts on – and really quickly, I will be following Arizona's defense going forward.
Because what they did to y'all just was unheard of, right?
Nah, there were players that I've never heard of, but that look like they can play. So maybe it was just the moment versus us, but I was impressed by some of their individual defensive players that I'd never heard of. Offense, that's going to be a struggle. Dev, your thoughts?
Sam Howell didn't really wow me like I thought he was against that Arizona defense. Because like you said, that Arizona defense really came to play yesterday. Because I really thought that I was like, all right, this is the game that Sam Howell really needs to wow people to show it that he can really be talked about quarterback. I'm not gonna give him the elite or a good quarterback yet, but at least talked about. And he didn't really carve up Arizona like I thought he was. So now I kind of need to sit back and wait to see the next game of Sam Howell, how he's gonna bounce. You know, is he gonna bounce back or is he gonna bounce forward? But far as Arizona, I honestly I didn't have no faith for those guys to be even in the game. When I had last checked the score, to see them like take the lead once, I was like, "Whoa, what is the Commanders doing? Yo, like, hold up, y'all ready to mess my ticket up? Need y'all to step it up real quick." Because I also said, and you can ask my wife, I was like, if the Commanders lose to the Cardinals, and I come up on this show and raise here, oh my God, he is going to have it.
Oh yeah. Oh, who you telling? Who you telling? I was going to be right there with you. I was going to have a keyboard for the show.
He was going to have it, and you know the Commanders pulled it out. So shout out to the Commanders. They showing that even in the not so good looking game for them, they was able to actually come as a collective team and actually, you know, pull together and actually get the lead back and hold the league down. So shout out to the Commanders. That's what I got out of that game.
Another thing I do want to take away from the game, and you said something that kind of sparked it. I think it's gone. But ultimately, like I said, a solid win. We got to get back on the bus, do it again next week. No days off in this league, so the division is going to be competitive. I think that was evident. So it should be good. Should be good. Shout out to Commanders for getting the dub, and on to the next, which is the game. Now somehow Dev snuck in with a pick of mine. No. We disagreed on this game. Me and Chris were aligned on the Cincinnati and Cleveland game. The only game that Dev actually lost so far. Thanks to Patty Mahomes and Travis Kelce, I've also accumulated one loss. But I don't want to blame a lot on the weather. I don't know how many people saw the game. It was a little soggy out there.
I don't want to hear that.
Chris, I'll let you go first. What happened to Cincinnati's offense? Like,
I mean, where do I start? You know, it's like Joe Burrow got paid and just. I mean, I would. You know, it was that Cash App scam again this weekend. You know, if I'm the Bengals, I'm gonna see if I get my money back because that man played terrible. No excuse for that. You didn't even have 100 passing yards. You were 14 for 31, abysmal. 20 quarterback rating. And Deshaun Watson had a terrible game, and he outdueled you. So that goes to show you how bad they were. Running game wasn't no better. You know, Mixon was decent. This offense just couldn't get it together. They were not consistent at all. You know, we can blame the weather. I don't want to blame the weather because I saw the Browns put up 24 points. So if the weather was bad for you, it was bad for them as well, and they were still able to move the ball down the field. Yeah, the Bengals look terrible. And the reason why I picked the Browns because I think they just, you know, yes, the Bengals have the star power, but I do think the Browns on paper are a better complete team, and it just showed. They were able to dominate the run game. You know, Deshaun Watson was able to make plays when needed, and that defense was able to step up. So I'm glad I got this one right. I'm upset that Joe Burrow cost me $150. But listen, you know, he cost the Bengals $275. So I don't know who's going to be more upset, me or the front office, looking at their franchise quarterback, play like Sam Howell.
Okay. I hear what you have to say, Chris. All right. What do y'all want me to say? Believe land. Do y'all believe yet?
Nope.
I foretold him this. I didn't know it would be this bad, but I just believe this team's gonna put it together. And you said it, Chris. Cleveland's offense didn't even look that great. Deshaun Watson was hit or miss, ran for a couple big plays. Nick Chubb over 100 yards. But more importantly, T. Higgins shut out. Didn't see that coming. The Browns defense is legit. Obviously, Burrow didn't get to play a lot preseason because of the injury. Maybe wasn't as mobile in this game as he would have liked to have been, and the footing probably not ideal to be running with the hamstring injury. Maybe, I don't know, but Cincinnati they can't do that. Excuse me. And they've been too good for too long. Even going back to Marvin Lewis, for me to write them off or anything like that. But I think this was a gut check. I do think this is a big win for Cleveland, who's won 5 of 6 from Cincy now. Despite long-term success, head-to-head, Cleveland has seemingly had their number of recent. So psychologically, I think that could become an issue because I think Cleveland is there for the long term, barring any significant injury to obviously their core of Watson, Chubb, and Garrett. As long as those 3 are healthy and the rest is generally healthy, they ain't going nowhere. Dev, these are your division rivals. Your thoughts?
Number one, like we said, I think that Myles Garrett was disrespectful to doing a little dribble between the legs in front of the center. Golly, that was just so disrespectful. Secondly, I don't know how to feel about the Bengals. Should I, as a Raven fan, should I be scared next week? Is the Bengals going to come out firing now because they couldn't fire against Cleveland, or should I be happy that maybe Cincinnati time maybe window has closed now? Maybe they went over here and paid Joe Burrow, and Cincinnati won't have that much success. You know what I mean? But you never know. It's hard to tell. Like you said, it's just week 1. If I'm not mistaken, I think that Cincinnati also started off rough last year. So I wouldn't raise no level of concern just yet for either team. Because the Cleveland, like I said, I'm still not sold on Cleveland offense yet. I need to see more. And did Amari Cooper ever come back yesterday?
Oh, he came back.
Okay.
He cast a little,
Yeah, I seen that it came across my little ticket that he went down. And I never heard anything about him coming back and nothing. So that's a good thing that Amari Cooper came back. So I still need to see more of Cleveland. I'm still not a believer yet. So I won't be saying Cleveland.
I won't either. I just,
You know what I mean? I don't even care if they even look good. I still won't say it because they're in the AFC North. Why would I say that?
Exactly. See, man.
It's always going to be big trust.
Okay. Oh. Okay. No. I obviously I understand. But no, I'm optimistic of that. But I'm obviously not. Since he ain't gonna look like that consistently. Right. I think Burrow got to get a little healthier. They got to work a couple things out. And I think they'll be fine. Quick update. 13-6 with a little under 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Buffalo does have the ball. They just got it back, and it's about 2nd and 12. So relatively low scoring game. Obviously, the Aaron Rodgers news, big damper on the evening. Definitely voids our picks for tonight. because that's a huge change for those of us who picked the Jets. But you know, what can we do? What can we do? So yeah, let's keep it moving to we can be quick with this, but it is Chris's team. So Philly, New England,
So you mean to tell me we listen to you for 5 to 10 minutes so far in this show, maybe 12 to 15, talk about your Commanders, and we can't talk about the division champs, the conference champs for at least 2 minutes?
you talk about stuff from last year. Division and conference is old school, old
Okay,
news.
okay.
Update your resume. But the floor is yours, Chris.
I mean,
Feel free to engage.
I don't have nothing to say. We got a sloppy victory, you know. Granted, a W is a W, but the offense, not impressed. Defense, you know, we showed up when it mattered. Jalen Carter was amazing. You talk about y'all let him fall to the wrong team. We had 70 sacks last year. Not saying we're going to be on pace to get that record again, but we got a defensive line, a lot of, a lot of parts that could be plugged and played. And
NFC East quarterbacks are going to have to keep their heads on swivels every division game.
every division, you know, I mean, every team, you know, has a good defensive line. I will say we have the best, and I 100% believe we have the best. But, you know, the defense showed up when it mattered. Jalen Hurts' fumble did hurt. Jalen Hurts, he needs to go back and look at film because he had Dallas Goedert wide open a lot last game, especially on that fourth down right in front of him. He had a more curl route and he wanted to force a pass. So I think they need to go back, look at film, regroup. You play on Thursday. Hopefully Swift gets in the game more. I was shocked that I barely saw him. He didn't have not one rush. That was very shocking. But yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see this team this year. The victory is a victory, very sloppy victory. Not happy at how we won. Just happy that we did win.
Dev, your thoughts?
Like we was talking about at the beginning of the show. New England had some advantages, and they didn't really take. We seen that Mac Jones had a decent game. A decent game that we thought that should win you the game. But somehow, some way, that 345, 3 touchdowns couldn't win you a game against a struggling Eagles offense. So that says a lot that the Eagles still showing that with a slow, sluggish day, we are still we can still beat a team that we supposed to be beating. And nobody really betted on New England really, other than Rod and a couple of Patriot fans that's still out here. That's not
just holding on for dear life.
You know what I mean? But they the only ones that believe that the Patriots were going to win. But as far as that, the Eagles almost Jalen Hurts almost looked like Lamar a little bit yesterday. He had that too careless on with the carrying the ball. I don't know if Jalen Hurts threw an interception, but Lamar did throw an interception. Just reckless, and it kind of shows that. Once again, that preseason might be the answer for some of these guys. Whether it's just playing one quarter or one half. But I just think that coming in here to the opening game, rusty and stuff, it's just not looking good. But like we just keep alluding to, it's just week one. You still got 17 more weeks to go to get your offense right and show it that you are a contender.
Yeah. I definitely think I think messages were sent for sure. I think a lot of coaches learned a lot from their team and personnel. Insert Kadarius Toney. But overall, I definitely think there was a lot to see there. Hold on real quick. Oh, because y'all played nobody. I was about to say we didn't have a whatchamacallit topic. Baltimore, but
you ain't we all know we was going to choose Baltimore.
I mean, we talked about no, let's not do this. Ray, you got to talk about your team.
He threw another interception.
I bet you, and he's terrible. Ray, you got to talk about your team for 27 minutes. I got to talk about my team for about 57 seconds. You know, Dev, let Dev talk about the Ravens. I mean, you say they ain't playing nobody. We all expected, the Cardinals to be the worst team in the league.
Nah, that's why I said I was looking. I didn't see it there, so I was going to give Dev his shot definitely before you jump out. What'd you think of the Ravens? You excited with the new offense? You talked about some of the injuries, but you did win.
I'm excited because one, Lamar is able to call his own plays. So it feels like he should be able to progress and not feel like he's been held back by Greg Roman offense. I'm excited that it was a balanced offense. It wasn't just a rush attack. He was able to pass a little bit, and then it was able to get the run going. And I still like the mindset that John Harbaugh had. Even when you get up in the fourth quarter, man, run the ball. We don't need to do all the cute gadgets and stuff, all that like we did in the beginning of the game. Run the ball, run the clock out, get out here as healthy as we possibly can. And can I say, Zay Flowers is looking like something special right now. I'm not gonna go too hype because it was just a Texas and it's just week one. But Zay Flowers looking like something special because you can kindly see that Lamar is already comfortable with Zay Flowers. You know, I mean, he gave Zay Flowers almost 10 targets for 80 something yards. Mm-hmm. So that's showing that he's comfortable.
Early and often.
Then once Mark Andrews come back, now the offense is now wide open. So hopefully he's able to get him and OBJ can get some more chemistry throughout the rest of the season, because we've seen that OBJ he's not the same OBJ, but he was able to beat his defenders on a couple of plays, and he was able to show him that he that time off did help him out also. It didn't really hurt him. He was able to get through the first game with no injuries, no tweaks, no nothing like that.
Hey, sorry guys, real quick. I don't want to call this breaking news, but Ryan Clark tweeted that his ankle is broken. Dang it, Aaron Rodgers feels so bad for him. So I don't know if he has inside information. I obviously don't have the sound on.
I thought he didn't even have the MRI yet.
He said that the MRI came back negative.
Yeah, what's going on?
That was an hour ago. Ryan Clark, and I believe this is the real Ryan Clark. Twitter got Angel Reese is following him. But Bomani Jones replied to him and says, if you can diagnose that one from your TV screen, you're a beast. So I don't know. Might be some conflicting reports there.
Man, Adam Schefter didn't report it.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He tweeted this about an hour ago. I'm not believing nothing until I see Chef.
All right. Well, we will see if it turns out to be true. Dalvin Cook, I believe there. 13-6. Jets do have the ball. After the interception on the Josh Allen overthrow into double coverage.
Wow.
For
all my FanDuel people out there, I want to say FanDuel customer support. Oh, never mind. This might be fake. Let me not say that out loud.
If you chat them, they'll usually tell you.
Nah. Somebody tweeted them and they tweeted back. I don't know if this is the real thing or not. So I'm gonna just go ahead and shut up. It looks real. But a lot of people think that they're not going to. Oh yeah, okay, it's real. They're not going to voiding on Aaron Rodgers bet. It's settled. It's going to settle regularly.
Dang.
Which is crazy. He only played 2 snaps.
Unbelievable. That's wrong, but
he played 2 snaps. But it is what it is.
All right. Well, we got the official word there. You heard it here first. Aaron Rodgers will not be voided, and Ryan Clark apparently tweeted something pretty recklessly. If his ankle is not broken, is Ryan Clark still on ESPN, or they let him go? Was he part of it?
I think he's still on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought so too, which is why I thought he might have some inside knowledge. Zach Wilson currently 10 of 16, 93 yards and 1 pick. So not exactly lighting it up, but Miami and the Chargers certainly were lighting it up. And probably the most exciting game of the week, in my
Yes, by
opinion.
by far,
Um,
by
Big
far.
plays, both ways. Austin Eckler on his 1-year deal was cooking. Um, drawing a blank. Tyreek Hill showing why he's him.
Mhm.
Tua putting up ridiculous numbers, stayed healthy, made it through. Um, yeah, a lot to see. Jalen Waddle had a solid game as well. So definitely a stat person's dream. Um, but at the end of the day, Miami got the dub. So with that being said, based on what we're seeing with New England, based on what we're seeing with Rodgers potentially being, if God forbid his ankle's broken, what do we think about Miami and what do we think about the Chargers who had their first game since that terrible collapse last year?
I mean, I'll say this: Tua wasn't sacked. One of the biggest stats to me is Tua wasn't sacked not one time yesterday. That might go overlooked to a lot of people, but the Chargers, I mean, on paper, you have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack on one end, one on the other. That's an above average pass rush duo, in my opinion. The fact that Tua wasn't sacked not once, that's major from a guy that was getting banged up a lot last year, which is an understatement. I loved what I seen from the Miami passing game. Defense, I mean, obviously without Jalen Ramsey, it's not going to be the defense we thought it'd be going into the year. They were able to get 3 sacks. They were able to pressure Herbert. That run defense is terrible, though. I'll say this. I mean, if you're looking for a way to beat Miami, sadly that, the Bills nor the Jets, well, I say the Jets run the ball, the Bills don't. But if you're looking for a way to beat Miami, it has to be running the ball. 234 yards on the ground is crazy. Um, Eckler 117. Eckler's not even known for a rusher, and he was able to put over a performance like that. So, all the positives I want to take from the offensive side from Miami, their defense has to be better if they want to be considered a true threat to win the Super Bowl. And if you're the Chargers, you have to win that game. You were dominating the run. You kind of went away from it. You knew they only had Tyreek Hill. You're pressing him man-to-man, one-on-one with no safety help. I mean, that's bad coaching, in my opinion. That's bad coaching. And for a while now, we want to blame a lot of things that's going wrong with the Chargers. Coaching is going to have to be top of the list. Who presses Tyreek Hill with no safety help? Man to man. I mean, you're going to get beat every time. It's Tyreek Hill. I don't care. J.C. Jackson, Jalen Ramsey, Sauce Gardner, Tyreek Woolen. I don't care who you are. It's Tyreek Hill. Know your personnel. The Chargers should have won that game, and it's their fault that they lost. They look themselves in the mirror and say, if you want to go to the playoffs, you can't be losing games like that in a tough AFC.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand and agree with a lot of what you just said.
Real quick, pull up that comment from Mike Hughes. Would I rather watch the Commanders for the rest of my life or the Wizards? I'd say I might have to go Commanders. And I'd only have to go Commanders because they're my division. I'm pretty sure that the Sixers and the Wizards are in the same division for the NBA. That's a lot of people don't understand how important that low key really is for basketball because those guys play each other so much. But the Wizards, I mean, they just have nothing going for them. And I don't care to watch Jordan Poole 82 games. It'd be nice to bet on them though. But I mean, actually, Mike Hughes, I'd rather watch neither. Okay, let me not even pick the two. They both suck. I'd rather watch neither. If I had to pick, I would pick the Commanders.
I would always rather watch the Commanders and Wizards over the Bulls and Bears. I'll tell you that every day of the week. But that's just me. Yeah. Dope game. If I'm Miami, I feel good. I definitely feel good. If I'm the Chargers, I feel all right too. Denver and Vegas. Mike always. Hey Mike, if you're still on, start putting my comments up. I be watching and commenting sometime. You don't be putting my comments up. That hate is unnecessary. I'm trying to grow your audience. So shout out to your boy. But yeah, if I'm the Raiders, I think the division looks pretty wide open. I don't think Kansas City looked overwhelmingly great, and I definitely didn't think Denver nor Vegas looked like world beaters. So if I'm the Chargers, even in the loss, I feel like I'm in a good spot. Now, as far as some of the other things you talked about, as far as coaching, I never thought they should have fired Anthony Lynn. I don't care. He didn't get it done that one time. That team was too good at the right time for them to do that. Yeah. All good, Mike. Just wanted to make sure you knew. But yeah, shout out to the Chargers for an impressive game. Mike Williams, I think, went out early, but I think he came back. I'm pretty sure. But just an amazing game to watch. Like dynamic plays, big plays down the field, Tyreek Hill, speed, like just really good. Buffalo's offense stalled out here. They are punting 13-6 with 33 seconds left in the third quarter. So we are getting down to closing time here in this game. As a Jets fan, you just got to wonder, like, what would you be doing if Aaron Rodgers was playing? Like,
you're right.
The game is available to be won. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I was going to say, because I'm going to be the resident betting guy for the show. And I report out FanDuel's not voiding anything. DraftKings, all bets on Aaron Rodgers, including same-game parlays and regular parlays, including tonight's QB combined TD boost, are being refunded tonight. That's a W. That's how you take care of the people that use your platform.
I agree with you 100%.
But the sad thing is FanDuel is so much easier because you can customize so much. But
that same game parlay thing they got just different.
But if that's the case, I mean, I'll just make it work. I'll make it work with DraftKings if they're going to be such W people like that.
Yeah, DraftKings, their same game, like
it's a little rough. It's a little rough.
Okay, but it's just not. It's not FanDuel.
Yeah, it's not FanDuel.
So, best of luck to all companies involved. Vegas and Denver, ugly game. Jimmy G looked like he was out to start the game, but he came back. He was holding his head. I was like, God dang, already he barely got hit. But apparently Aaron Rodgers barely got hit, and a lot can happen. So, ultimately, pretty, I guess, impressed by the Raiders getting the dub. New coach, new quarterback, new system. The numbers is another thing, another takeaway. It was weird. I think Josh Jacobs is like 8, and some other random players got a bunch of random numbers. So it was hard to kind of realize some of the players. Russell, I don't know if I'm Sean Payton if I love it. I know there was some reports about him saying, don't worry about your image, just play. And I was just trying to pull up Russell's stats. He went 27 of 34 for 177. That's a 5.2 average. That's trash. Like, you're clearly not pushing the ball down the field. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy was out. So that's a big deal. But you got to be better than that, in my opinion. Definitely got to be better than that. But, Chris, your thoughts ultimately on Broncos and Raiders?
I mean, it was everything I thought it was going to be with a division game. Not the best game or most fun game to watch, but it was going to be close. I think both teams have a lot to prove. And everybody's going to be fighting for that wild card spot. I do think, although the Chiefs didn't look well, I think they're by far the overwhelming favorite, and you're getting Chris Jones back, and Kelsey's able to come back and be healthy. I don't think any team in this division even sees them or sniffs the amount of wins they'll get. So a lot of people are fighting for second in that wild card. So I think every game's important for them. And I think, listen, Wilson, you played bad this year. You were high on a lot of people's quarterback rankings, current and all time. Current, you completely dropped the ball last year. But all time, he plays bad again. I know a lot of people are going to just boop, 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 boop. So it's really a make or break year for his legacy, in my opinion.
That's a good point. So if they go what 5-12, if they go 5-12, 6-11,
Mhm.
what do you think that you're saying? What does that do for Russell's legacy?
I mean, it drops tremendously, especially if he's the reason. Now, you do that, and he has the numbers, and it's obviously when you watch the games, he's not the reason. Let's say the defense is just terrible. That's one thing. But 9 times out of 10, you have that record, you're not having great quarterback play. So if Russell Wilson is not the best, obviously he's probably not going to be the best quarterback. But if he's not helping his team win, he can't win big games. Then I mean that. Listen, yes, you won one Super Bowl. You cost your team another. You haven't been back. You haven't been back since. A lot of playoff losses. You got paid. Defense didn't get paid. You're supposed to be the answer. You weren't. You're not answering the phone now. So his all-time ranking goes down a lot. And and I'm with and this is a sidebar, and I'll be brief with it. And I know Dion said, and a lot of people say it. The Hall of Fame should be the best of the best. Let's ask ourselves this looking back. From let's say 2015, or from 2010 to 2030, where is he going to be ranked all time in quarterbacks? Because I'll say this, from 2010 to right now, someone argue he's not even top 5, and I don't even think he is top 5. I may be overstepping, but
obviously we're gonna say
Mahomes, Brady,
Mahomes, Brady for sure. Him and Rodgers both got one chip.
Yeah.
Rodgers obviously has much better statistics, accolades.
Mm-hmm.
Career-wise, you got to say Aaron Rodgers had the better career.
So that's 3. All right, let's just stop right there. Because I probably did overshoot, because a lot of guys are young right now that's on the up and up.
But you said since what was your first start year?
I said 2010.
Because you got to when did Manning get out of here?
Eli or Peyton? You can add Peyton. Peyton got out of here in 2015, even though he beat Peyton in the Super Bowl. Well, I say all that to say this: if you're not even top 3 in your era,
I got Breeze ahead of Russell. No,
yeah, exactly. So Russell, he's not first ballot. His career keeps going down.
According to Bleacher Report, there is a fear in quotes. Aaron Rodgers is dealing with an Achilles injury.
Sign Tom Brady.
So it's funny you say that. Brady. Because if you look here, Sports Center, I literally scrolled past it and was going to ignore it, and then you said that, so I was like,
sign Tom Brady.
Tom Brady comes back in New York to take over for A-Rod and goes on the run and beats the Patriots after that would be crazy.
But yeah, on a serious note, Russell Wilson, man, you do something, please. I'm a little disappointed.
Zach Wilson just got blasted.
Oh, I know. I saw it on my phone.
Oh, man. He having a hard go out there.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks, dog. You can do all this work, spend all this money, get all this hype, do all this stuff, and one play, whole trajectory, whole demeanor, whole everything.
I mean, so the last time we saw this was what? Gordon Hayward? Now, obviously, and no disrespect to Gordon Hayward, but the importance of him to his team is not Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, it's different sports, but
the only comparison was they were taking up the same amount of the salary cap.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah,
big all-season moves.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
tough pill to swallow, man. Tough pill to swallow. That's why they pay you the big bucks. We don't got to spend a lot of time on this game because, God dang. Dallas sends a statement, I guess, as loud as anybody for sure. As loud as Cleveland or San Francisco, that they are contenders. They're not playing no games. Their defense is going to get at it, and you got to survive. And Daniel Jones and the Giants did not survive. That money they gave him don't look so good. And for what it's worth, Saquon kind of kicked everything off with a turnover early. But I just think it wasn't the Giants' night. It just the ball was just not bouncing their way. Yeah, that was. I turned it off. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Oh, I was on the road, so I didn't even watch it. When I got back and saw it, I definitely didn't want to watch it.
Yeah, like that wasn't it by any stretch for me. Yeah, they're in our division. They're our division rivals. So I'll open it up to you. Where do the Giants go from here? Is it you just delete the tape, start over?
I mean, you delete the tape, but I never thought Daniel. I mean, I did say I thought Daniel Jones would be better, but maybe I was so hyped they got Darren Waller. I just was looking at their last year's success. Let's reel it in, okay? Let's see. Sometimes I get a little. I need to go back to the real me. The real me is me. I never thought Daniel Jones was the answer at quarterback for them to begin with. Not saying he's the reason, but at the end of the day, you win and lose by your quarterback. When I look at that contract, I mean, you paying, Saquon doesn't get paid. The most important player on that offense doesn't get paid. And you pay a guy that's not even top 20 in his position, some would say.
Definitely.
So, the whole team, granted, you're going against a great defense. I saw a stat where, more than half the times he was dropped back, he was pressured. So, you're going against a great defense. But at the end of the day, 0 points. Everybody needs to look themselves in the mirror. Yes, you delete tape and you move on. But this is a make or break season for this team. Because the Cowboys, I think it's also a make or break season for them. But you see the core that they have, and it's monstrous. I look at the Eagles, you see the core that they have, it's monstrous. You look at the Commanders, one, they won week 1. And 2, I feel like they're just more consistent. The Giants, yes, you have a good roster on paper, but are you able to be consistent and compete for the top level? And so when you get blown out by your division rival, some things you need to look at in the mirror.
For sure. Especially like you said, to your point, a division rival. Like those usually, even when the team is expected to be bad, i.e. us versus y'all last year, you expect things to go a little bit better.
Yeah.
The Jets hit. Like this defense is flying around now. Buffalo winning, and they're getting down the field, but they are.
Oh no, that's why the Jets defense is legit. That's why
ice baths.
That's why I thought their defense was legit. But when the commander goes down, the shit might follow.
For sure. Let's wrap it up with the game we are watching. We've been obviously talking about it. Kind of a buzzkill, big letdown with Aaron Rodgers going out early. For what it's worth, it's a competitive game. Not a lot of fireworks on offense, but
I haven't watched this since the first one.
It is competitive. As y'all have heard, not a lot of yelling, not a lot of excitement outside of a couple turnovers. And obviously, had I known that Aaron Rodgers was going to not play, I wouldn't have picked the Jets. But, yeah, that's all we really got. I did want to wrap up and touch on FIBA. And I just want to know, is America winning gold at the Olympics?
When they put together the Monstars, absolutely. And let's say this. Like I forgot who said the quote. It's not 1992 and all this where all of the players were American. A lot of these countries have guys that are top guys in the league. I look at Canada. I think Canada, outside of America, is the best team, on paper at least. Yes, they don't have the experiences, Spain or some of these other teams, Germany, these guys playing together as much. But as far as NBA talent, I think Canada might have the most outside of Team USA.
Josh Allen interception.
So he threw 3,
and that was another bad one.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet. For guys so overly rated, I mean, he's a terrible decision maker. But real quick to wrap up my FIBA take.
Good.
I look at the roster, and yes, these are quality guys, but these are outside of Anthony Edwards, maybe Brandon Ingram that didn't barely played. Who's really the superstar of their team? When we run it back at the Olympics, I think the only player that could even make the roster would be Anthony Edwards. And I do think he will make that roster. This when we put together like the Monstars, no team has a chance. Okay, when you put Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bill might make the team. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Bam, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard. When you put those guys on the floor, and oh my God, all the superstars, can they mesh? Absolutely. You know why? Because the top stars usually have some other stars on their team, so they know how to play. Exactly. This is not no selfish basketball. They know how to play together. They're going to, and after this performance, all the redeemed teams, the social media wasn't popping like it is right now. So as much clown as USA is getting, I can't wait for the Olympics. Because if all those top guys play, nobody stands a chance. Everybody's getting beat by 30 plus.
Steph Curry doesn't have a gold medal.
He will get one. And to me, that not to say that's a huge thing for a resume, but I just love seeing it. Me personally, you playing the Olympics, against we saw the track Noah Lyles, who's very great right now. Said world champions. One of the best talent is in the NBA, so let's just get that situated. But if Steph Curry is able, to win the Olympics, I think that's a I can smile looking at his resume, saying, okay, he accomplished about everything a basketball player could after leaving college. He didn't win a national championship, obviously, but NBA rings. He's able to represent his country, win a gold medal. That's a great career.
Top of the top for sure. Last thing on that. It's funny because we watched the NBA. Mm-hmm. Like I watched Jalen Brunson last year.
Mm-hmm.
High praise.
Yeah.
But it's just different. Like you can just see, even with Anthony Edwards, and he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
When the real Team USA come up, he might be like 10th on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the difference. So it was good to see for, the tweets and everything. Braun was the first one to tweet. I got to give him credit for that. Was Steph going to play? I think there was no doubt in my mind Steph was going to play regardless because he doesn't have a gold medal, but LeBron got it started. So got to give him credit for that. Yeah, Chris, before we get out of here, do you have, and let these people finish the game, do we have anything for the people?
Man, we just hope Aaron Rodgers is healthy and it's not nothing severe. You hate to see injuries. All betting, I be joking when I come to this bet and stuff. I care less. The important stuff is his health. We want to see Aaron Rodgers healthy. We want to see him be the best. Because at the end of the day, this is a guy who's one of the best talents at quarterback we've ever seen. We can take away, yes, he didn't win after he won that first Super Bowl. As far as on the field talents, I can't name 10 guys better than Aaron Rodgers. So we hope he gets healthy soon. As far as basketball, as far as, the FIBA situation and Olympics, again, I'm telling people now, when the Monstars go on the court, nobody stands a chance. And as far as the NBA season, I've been totally out of the loop because when your team is trash, it makes you not even want to read what's going on. But I will say this. I saw Wemby's playing the 4. I know we talked about it on here, and most of you guys said that he's probably going to start out playing the 4. I think that is smart. And I watched the highlight of what Shea Gilgeous-Alexander did to Michael Bridges. I'm not surprised. That's a guy who I said was going to be great coming out of Kentucky. So it's a lot to talk about, as far as basketball, but it's football season. I just want to put that out there. Thursday night, my Eagles are playing. I may or may not be at Xfinity Live, pre-gaming.
Hey.
So, if I'm not on the show, that's why.
Completely understandable. And just to your point, I do want to reiterate, obviously, I've been hard on Aaron Rodgers, but obviously I want the man to be healthy. I was almost picked them to win a division. I do value and respect his ability with Dalvin Cook that much. With that being said, I've been scrolling the internet. It does not look good.
Give me. I've been on the same.
Like the videos I'm seeing of it slowed down, looks a little Kevin Durant-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who watched that in the finals, so I don't know. The way he sat down kind of reminded me of Kobe when he did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna put it out there, but I feel like I've seen similarities between the mannerisms and the injury. So hoping for the best. And prayers up for Rodgers. But week 1, we've done it. 1 down, 16 to go. Commanders 1-0, Eagles 1-0, Ravens 1-0, Cowboys 1-0. We lit over here. I went 9-1 this week. I didn't get a chance to really celebrate that. I'm sorry, 8-1. We voided this game. Chris, for what it's worth, I talk trash. It's still 6-3.
I'm going to be better this year. You know, I'm going to be better this year. Trust me. I'm going to have the best one. You know, don't know why I didn't pick Dallas. I was talking to my buddy earlier. I told him, I think I was just being a Dallas hater when I didn't pick Dallas. That's all it was. I can't do that. I need to be, have my mind in the game so I can beat you this year.
For sure. Well, best of luck to you. Make better decisions than that. And Travis Kelce, hurry back because you cost me.
And Mahomes need you.
Facts. So yeah, we out. Been a pleasure. Should see y'all on Thursday. This has been Real Talk.